Hi there. Welcome to episode 7 of Small Business Coffee Break, the weekly video series where we take a few minutes to work on your business, not just in it. This week we answer, why does the IRS care how much I pay myself, and the benefits of reasonable compensation, with Carmen Peters of Fernandez-Bergnes and Associates. Carmen's a CPA with 15 years of experience and the person I trust most when it comes to tax advice. So go grab a cup of coffee and let's get into it. Why does the IRS care how much I pay myself? I mean, why can't I get as little contribution, enough to maybe build some credit, and why do they care what it is that I'm an insurance agent, so I'm not I have a specific professional license and so on and so forth. What's up with that?
So this, again, it goes down to payroll tax, and it falls under the reasonable compensation topic for the IRS, which says if you're a shareholder, owner, president of your own company, you can control how much you get paid. Typically, that officer, owner, wants to pay themselves as little as possible to lower their payroll tax and then get a distribution at the end of the year, which typically for small business owners is a tax-free distribution.
Okay, so by distribution it is I take money out of my bank account.
Right.
It's my corporate account and I put it into my personal account.
Correct.
Fantastic. Just want to make sure we're understanding each other. Stealing from Paul to give to Peter. Okay.
Yes. So they want to make sure that a person doing your same role in your market, in your industry, they have standards, and you have to pay yourself as close to that as possible. The rest could be tax-free distribution. They don't have a problem with that. But they do care how much you get paid because they want to collect as much payroll tax as they're entitled to. That's why they care.
So similar to our conversation earlier, the IRS really just cares about getting their pound of flesh. They're very strict on making sure that there is no shenanigans going on as far as, and what they'll do is they'll compare me not to my peers in Miami per se, but they will compare me to my peers nationally.
Correct.
Which means that pretty much I'm compared to some of the insurance agents in New York City, in Silicon Valley, and all these places where, it's not the same as it is here in South Florida. So I got to keep that in mind.
And there's reasonable compensation calculations or studies that you could do. You can enter all the information. I mean, there's software, and we do it in our office as well as part of a service where, the client wants to know where am I, because they want to feel comfortable that whatever earnings that they take or profits, it's not, double taxed.
Right.
And as long as that reasonable compensation is covered, they don't have to worry about that. If the IRS ever challenges it, here you go, we did the study, this is the amount, this is how much we get paid, you're covered, and it goes away.
And just out of curiosity, I mean, are there other benefits to compensating myself appropriately through my business, right? So, small business owner, a lot of times, we get to play with the numbers. At the end of the day, it's not the same as doing living my life personally, right? And I hear a lot of, oh no, I don't want to get any payroll, and then I'm wondering, well, what do you do when you want to buy a house, or you want to get a car? I mean, are there benefits to just taking a reasonable compensation just because, well, from a common sense perspective?
Yeah, where they come into trouble, which you mentioned, they're going to go get a loan with the bank, and banks think differently. They know if you're a business owner and you're making X amount of money, they question it, and they want to see that W-2, regardless of what you tell them, regardless of what money the company profits at the end, because that to them can change. But your W-2, that's different. They take it for face value. So it helps you out there as well. And, if you're going to sell your business, well, how much can I make out of this business? Well, I can draw a salary of $200,000 and I still have profit of X amount, rather than, wow, I'm going to work for this business and I could only earn $20,000 and, there's not enough money to, to cover that payroll, or I'm limited by the employees I can hire. But number one is for audit protection, just following the law and trying to...
Making sure that the IRS doesn't come and get more than what we've already established we have to give them.
That's right.
I never thought about that from the perspective of wanting to make sure the compensation is appealing to a possible buyer. So and a lot of times in small business we get so stuck in our businesses, that we're working in them versus working on them. And you know, one of the reasons why we decided to do this series, and yeah, you know, we should be thinking about at all times, you know, what if, you know, we want to, you know, get out of this game to get into another one. This is one of those ways that we can make sure, as we're putting it out there, that we don't have to try to double explain or triple explain what's going on.
Succession planning, if business valuation, my business is worth this much, and you know, you're under-reporting income. Well, it says it's only worth 20,000. No, it's 100. Well, that's how much you have reported, and you know,
And it
you
goes
can't
from
sell that. So it doesn't benefit you when it, you know.
Right. Yeah, it benefits you short term, right? Because
Yes.
you're keeping that 10, 15, 20, 25%, whatever the difference is, but you're not.
But it
You're
hurts you
at
afterwards.
long term, which is what we're in business for, right? Unfortunately, unless we're making a very short, you know, flip, we're in business for the long term. Awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome. If you'd like to contact Carmen, I put all of her contact information in the description below. If you have any questions that you'd like me to ask a professional in their field so that we can get that answered over to you, please feel free to leave a comment below or shoot me a quick email. That information is also in the description below. If not, let's grab a cup of coffee next week and we'll answer some more questions.